Hello, everybody. This is Bronson's By Any Means Necessary fantasy basketball talk for Sunday, March 6th. Again, it's been a little while since I made a video, and we had the All-Star break. There wasn't a whole lot going on, but we're now a full week plus out of the All-Star break. My Dynasty League regular season has ended. I ended up very, very close to the number one seed in the East, but I think I'm 1.5 games back of the lead. I will be the 2 seed heading into the playoffs next week. This week was the first week, I think, all season that I actually won turnovers as a category. So I'm pretty impressed. We had the trade deadline last week. I was finally able to acquire a real center. I got Mo Bamba. Had to give up some of my wing depth, which is fine. I had a lot of it. Also got myself a point guard because I'm worried that Damian Lillard not going to come back. So I got myself a Mike Conley. So I got Mo Bamba, Mike Conley at the deadline. Really liking my team heading into the playoffs. There's a chance I could get Damian Lillard back for the finals if I get that far. So that'll be my ace in the hole. Work has been crazy. I am so tired right now. I slept, like 10 hours yesterday, and I've been wanting to take a nap. I've been laying down for the last couple hours trying to catch a nap. Didn't happen, but hopefully maybe I can get to bed early tonight. I guess it's 7 p.m. 7 p.m. would be a decent time to get up. I am voluntarily working tomorrow morning. Hopefully just tomorrow morning. Hopefully I can, get out by noon and not feel compelled to stay and do more stuff that I need to. Because I have some things I need to get done. I just got a car. Finally got a car. The car that my brother was supposed to sell me months ago. Finally, it's in my possession, a $500 Honda Civic that has been really fun to drive these last couple of days. But it's like really low to the ground. I guess I'm used to like a Kia Soul, Geo Tracker, up cars that are up high. This Honda's like way down here. I feel like an old man getting in and out of it. I'm only 34, almost 35, but I do got bad hips. So getting in and out of that car is a bit of a. Sorry, I was checking. I had a Facebook DM. My Facebook ban is finally over too. I was finally able to post my pictures of my last vacation a month ago. And I'm trying to plan another one. It's been really complicated by the fact that, I just recently finally got financially ahead again. The fact that my mom and my grandma want to go to Arizona. They want me to go with them to Phoenix whenever my aunt's house is finally complete. She's supposed to get the keys on the 31st. So we were originally going to go the last week of this month. Now it's looking like it might be the first week of April instead. I've been telling my grandma and my mom to get a plan, buy these tickets 2-3 weeks in advance. It's going to save you a lot of money. I can't really buy plane tickets to go down there with them until I know when we're actually going. And so I'm getting a little frustrated by that. It's also putting a hindrance on me planning another vacation. I didn't get to go anywhere last month. I may not get to go anywhere this month. And, it's really frustrating because traveling is what I want to do. And I'm not being able to do that right now. So my mom says that by Tuesday she will know for sure when they are going to Arizona, going to Phoenix. And then once we get that situated, hopefully they'll buy some damn tickets right away. I can buy my tickets right away for the weekend because I'm only going for the week. My mom and my grandma are going to go for the whole week. I'm only going for the weekend because that's the only time I'm able to get the time off because I am saving my vacation time for May, the first week of May, which is my birthday week. I don't know where I'm going yet, but I'm going somewhere for the whole week because UPS already gave me the time off. So I'm saving my vacation time at my regular job for that week. So I'm going to go somewhere big. But I would like to go somewhere before this month ends, somewhere short, just for the weekend, a couple days. My plans of going back to Alaska this winter have already been put on hold. So maybe I'll try to get back up there, before the end of the year, sometime when winter comes back around again. Maybe I'll just go up there in the summertime again, since it was such a nice experience. And it's really, that's the tourism season anyway, when there's actually stuff to do. So I don't know, but I still have a big list of places that I would like to go. I'd like to check a lot of those off my list. I still can't go to Canada, which is driving me nuts, because I'm not vaccinated and I'm not getting vaccinated. So I don't know when Canada is going to get over it and just let people in, let people who have tested negative. I mean, I am more than willing to take a test, to take a COVID test to get across the border into Canada. Just that's what I do, when I go to events. That's what I do, it's not that big of a deal. I'll happily take a test to prove that I don't have COVID, to get across the border. But Canada is like all about the vaccination. Whatever. I think it's pointless. I think it's pointless to make sure that somebody's vaccinated, because that person that's vaccinated can still have the COVID. They can still be spreading COVID, because you're not making them get a test at the border or when they get off the airplane, right? You just want them, they just have to be proof of vaccination. That's all you care about. So honestly, people that are unvaccinated that are getting a test to cross the border or go into these events are safer than vaccinated people, if you think about it, because we are 100% don't have COVID because we tested for it, right? But the vaccinated people apparently are invincible, or a higher class of citizens. All they have to do is be vaccinated. They don't actually have to not have COVID. That's not the important part, right? So it's all stupid. It's all pointless. But yeah, work's been crazy. I've been putting in 50-hour weeks at my main job, which is not normal. Usually it's like 30, 38, 39, 40. Like my boss likes to keep us, around that 40 mark, because he doesn't want to pay overtime. But we've had a lot going on lately. We moved our storerooms, so we had to move all our stuff. And things it's just crazy, because we still have frozen stuff in one spot, and then we have the rest of our stuff in another spot, and they're on separate sides, kind of separate sides of the airport. And then we have a restaurant on another side of the airport. So we're doing a lot of back and forth. I put so many miles on my feet last week. My feet were absolutely killing me Friday and Saturday. I bought some new shoes, some new boots even. Hiking boots, because I thought they would help, but they did not. Yesterday was awful. My feet feel fine today because I haven't been on them. I've been chilling, relaxing, not doing shit. I needed to go to my parents' house to get, because they have my airport parking pass. They have, I just haven't been down there in a while. But yeah, I need my airport parking pass so I can park in the employee lot at work. I need to go get that today. Hopefully, I'll feel up for it tomorrow after work. That's why I only want to work in the morning, because I want to get down there and get that. And I also want to be able to get to the DMV before they close, so I can get my title transferred, and either get new tags or my tags transferred, because the tags I have on my car currently are expired. But that creeps me out. It freaks me out a little bit, because I don't want to drive 2 hours down the freeway and get pulled over for expired tags. I don't want to get pulled over. I'm tired. I want to move past that part of my life. I don't want to ever get pulled over. Again, I don't like dealing with cops. I don't like dealing with authority figures. I don't like it. But so, yeah, that's updating you on my life currently. Let's get to it though. This will be the Spikes and Yikes for fantasy basketball, 4 of each. Let's talk about what I don't like first. Let's get the dislikes out of the way. Josh Giddey. mystery illness for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've been playing these games with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the last couple of years. Now it looks like they're going to play the shutdown game with Josh Giddey. Who knows when he'll return or if he'll return this season. His possible Rookie of the Year season is quite possibly over, which I think is a shame for the player, and it's a bit of a stain on the NBA, honestly. I think that the NBA needs to do something about this active tanking situation that's going on. Chris Paul, I'm sure you all know by now, Chris Paul is injured, had a serious injury. Kind of really, I think it's the first major injury of his career, really. I don't think he's ever missed a huge chunk of, well, no, I remember him having a thumb injury a couple of years ago or something, right? But that was like in the playoffs. I think he's ever missed a big chunk of the regular season. I'm probably forgetting an injury that's happened to him. But Chris Paul's having a great year. Possible dark horse MVP candidate. Still playing amazing basketball even at his advanced age. He is one of the greatest point guards that we've ever seen. It's really sad for the Suns, even though he should be back for the playoffs. So the Suns shouldn't be affected too much come playoff time. But for those of you who own him in fantasy, he's probably not going to be back in time to help you this season. And in dynasty leagues, the fact that he's super old and now he's got a major injury, you could probably buy pretty low if your league doesn't have a trade deadline. You could probably buy pretty low on Chris Paul. Jonathan Isaac, he has been out for 2 years now because of an ACL injury. It's very worrisome. Jonathan Isaac was a very promising player who has been out so long now. Does Orlando still even have a place for him? And what kind of value can Orlando get back for him? I'm concerned for Jonathan Isaac because I did recently acquire him in the league. I feel like I gave up a little bit. Not a lot. I didn't have to give up any picks. Didn't have to give up any players of major future value for me, or players from positions that I didn't have an abundance of. I'm building for the future in that team that I acquired him in anyways, so I'm not super concerned, but it would be nice for him to return to the court at some point this season. But all signs are that he is nowhere near a return, and I have not heard of a knee injury in modern times taking this long to return from it. So I'm just wondering what else could possibly be going on with Jonathan Isaac. And lastly, for the Yikes, Chris Boucher. I've been holding Chris Boucher all season because this was supposed to be his breakout year. That really didn't materialize early on, but I've been patient because I was like, he did this last year too. He started off really slow, and then in the second half of the year after the All-Star break, he really kind of took off. Well, so far, that's not really happening either. I don't know what is going on. He's a very promising young big man that his coach, Nick Nurse, just does not seem to like. I don't understand why, and I feel like they need to just move on from Chris Boucher. Both parties need to move on. I think it'd be beneficial for both of them. I think that Chris Boucher does have a high amount of trade value out there, so because he's still young, he's very athletic, and he's a great shot blocker. But for whatever reason, this has kind of been a very disappointing season for Chris Boucher, and I am considering finally moving on from the former Oregon Duck, who I have been rooting for his whole career. Now let's get to the Spikes. These are the four part of the 8 that I'm liking in fantasy basketball. Now we're gonna start with Robert Williams. Robert Williams is really having a breakout campaign for the Boston Celtics. For some reason, I'm thinking Milwaukee Bucks there. And the last couple of games have been fantastic defensively for him. He's gotten like 8 blocks combined and like 5 or 6 steals. That is incredible. Those are very hard to find categories in fantasy basketball. So if you're rostering Robert Williams right now, you are loving life, and you probably dominated your matchups this week. Next, we're going to talk about John Morant. John Morant is having obviously a fantastic season. He's probably going to be first team All NBA this year. One of the top 5 best players in the NBA this season. But I don't consider him. There's a lot of talk, a lot of hype about him being a possible MVP. I don't see that. I think it's a 3-man race between Giannis, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, the big men. The guys who have, Giannis and Jokic have won the MVP the last 3 years. And Joel Embiid finally, I don't want to jinx him. I want him to stay healthy. I want him to win that MVP. I want him and James. I want to see what him and James Harden can do in the playoffs. I'm really intrigued by the Eastern Conference playoff picture this season. I think the Eastern Conference is really deep. There's a lot of good teams at the bottom and a lot of teams at the top that I don't know how good they really are. I'm talking to you, Chicago and Cleveland, and so the Eastern Conference playoffs is going to be fascinating for me this year. For the first time in a long time, the Eastern Conference is looking like the stronger conference, and that's going to be must-see TV in a couple of months. But for now, I think Joel Embiid is the MVP with Jokic a second place. Most likely, it's going to be one of those centers. I don't think John Morant has a real chance, but nonetheless, he's been a fantastic fantasy player, and he probably, if you redrafted his draft, you would take John Morant 1. Zion Williamson may not even go second, although I think he'd probably still go second. But if he doesn't go second, then the Knicks at 3 would get the guy they wanted all along, and Zion would get to play for the team he wanted all along. And this conversation could have been completely different, right? Because Zion would have been much more motivated, much happier, blah, blah, blah. In a multiverse out there, Iron Man is still alive, and Zion Williamson is the Nick who is healthy and happy, not fat and depressed. A couple more. Let's talk Spencer Dinwiddie. I didn't know what to make of that trade that the Mavericks and Wizards made at the trade deadline. I thought it was like an obvious dump for the Mavericks. Like, we couldn't get rid of Kristaps Porzingis fast enough. Didn't like the package they got back. I thought Porzingis could have got more, and I thought they should have got more. I thought they should have traded him before the season even started. But Dinwiddie and Luka have been fantastic together, and so obviously Dallas knew what they were doing there. And it makes me question why Dallas never thought that Dennis Smith Jr. and Luka could play together, because it's obvious that Luka and Dinwiddie are playing really well together. And then there's also Jalen Brunson to worry about, and then the Dallas 3-headed monster of guards there. Perhaps Dennis Smith Jr. really isn't as good as the hype. I mean, it's clear he's been cut by a couple of teams. He's now out of the league, but I think he was good. I think he's talented. I think his confidence just got completely ruined in Dallas because his coach, Rick Carlisle, at the time, very good coach, but clearly a prick, and ruined him. I think Rick Carlisle ruined him. And as a person who is an ex-player who had confidence issues, I can attest to the fact that once you lose that confidence, it's really hard to get it back. And so I don't think it's a question of talent for Dennis Smith. I think it's a question of mentality. It's a mental block for Dennis Smith. I hope that he can get right, because he's still young enough. He can still have a long, decent career in the league. But yeah, Dinwiddie, I was not a big fan of Dinwiddie. Never really have been a big fan of Dinwiddie, but Dinwiddie is now somebody who is tearing it up in Dallas. And as I've said for the last couple of years, if you can't get Luka in fantasy, you want to get every piece of the Dallas puzzle so you can get Luka points Luka's points by proxy, right? It's like in fantasy football where if you have a quarterback you really love, but you can't get him or you can't justify reaching for him early in the draft, okay, well, you don't have to get the quarterback. You can get all his pieces. Like if you can't get Patrick Mahomes, don't worry. Maybe still get Travis Kelce, maybe get Tyreek Hill, get Clyde Edwards-Helaire, get all those guys. So then you're still getting all of Mahomes' points by proxy, right? So if you can't get Luka, get the players around him. Get Spencer Dinwiddie, get Jalen Brunson, get Dwight Powell, get Dorian Finney-Smith. I can't think of anybody else in Dallas who's worth anything in fantasy other than those four right now. So, yeah, you want to get as many shares of those guys as you can to get those Luka points by proxy. So Spencer Dinwiddie is someone I'm very interested in fantasy basketball now moving forward. Hopefully we can see what they do in the playoffs, and hopefully they stay together for another year. And lastly, Jalen Smith finally got out of Phoenix, where he was kind of in an awkward situation. He was drafted by Phoenix in the lottery to be a potential building block for the future. And then Phoenix quickly turned the corner and became a contender, and they had no use for Jalen Smith. He was just rotting on their bench with decreasing trade value on a daily basis. Now he's in Indy, where he's getting a chance to shine, getting a chance to play, and he is really proving that taking him as a little bit of a reach in the lottery was justified. As long as Miles Turner is out, Jalen Smith is truly a must-own player right now, and it's going to be interesting to see how he can continue to be productive when or if Miles Turner returns. Keep in mind the Pacers are tanking; they're not trying to win, and they did this to Miles Turner last year. They shut Miles Turner down late in the season due to an injury. They might possibly do that again. The Sabonis Turner situation that was never really going to work long term. It's finally broken up. I always thought it would be Turner that would go. Sabonis would be the foundation of the team moving forward. That was wrong. Sabonis is in Sacramento now, so it's Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, possibly Jalen Smith, possibly Chris Duarte. A lot of interesting young pieces in Indy. I'm fascinated to see how they grow over time, and I'm happy and excited to see Jalen Smith finally being a fantasy relevant basketball player. Not only relevant, but as I said a couple of minutes ago, a must-own player until Miles Turner returns. I just picked him up in one of my leagues as an injury replacement for Josh Giddey. That's who it was. So I'll see if Jalen Smith continues to play like this. He might be someone I hold, and I'll have to drop somebody else. But I've been playing musical chairs with injuries in that league all season, so I probably won't have to drop anybody. I'll just move in somebody to the injured list, right? But I'm still somehow clearly way out in first place in that league, so hasn't been hurting me too much, knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me in the playoffs either. All right, again, the video was a lot longer than I thought it would be. All my basketball videos are like over 20 minutes long these days. I'm not surprised. I'm just watching them. And I took some ibuprofen because I got a little bit of a headache. It's not really working. Hopefully, maybe I need to eat. I haven't really had anything to eat today since breakfast. That's probably could be contributing to why I'm not feeling super 100%. But I watched the Batman today. It was not that great. I mean, Robert Pattinson sucks as Batman. Zoe Kravitz, still great looking. Colin Farrell, completely unrecognizable, completely unbelievable as the Penguin. Like I knew going into the movie that Colin Farrell was the Penguin, and there was nothing. Every time they showed him, I was like, that is not Colin Farrell. Every time he talked, that's not Colin Farrell. I don't know how. Unbelievable performance by Colin Farrell. If he doesn't win, like I know it's early, and movies like this, except for Heath Ledger, don't typically win that kind of award. I think Colin Farrell should at least be nominated for Best Supporting Actor because it was just a completely it was a profound performance because you cannot even tell it was him, like not by voice, not by looks, nothing. Like, but overall, not that great of a movie. I did like the way that they did, incorporate one of my very favorite Nirvana songs, "Something in the Way," if not my favorite Nirvana song. It's very underrated Nirvana song. Into that movie a couple of times, into the soundtrack. I did like that. I liked they kind of changed the story a little bit because Batman is getting real tired, right? We've seen so many Batman remakes. It's just why do they need to keep remaking Batman? But it was a refreshing change of pace. However, still overall not that interesting of a movie. So, all right, I'm gonna end this now, mercifully, and as always, my normal sign off: 3 things that we are lacking enough of in this world: peace, love, and nacho fries. Hang loose. Good luck in the playoffs, and I'll see you when I see you.